Bali is one of the surfing capitals of the world, and it's the foreign influence that shaped the island.
Why are you not happy?
That this peaceful vibe was a bit interrupted by, it was essentially a manifesto about living authentically and connected to nature. So many of us no longer have the courage to even go on a holiday. You could stay all day?
I can stay all day.
Yeah. And then the next thing, I see this flag saying swimming is prohibited. And it has this charming, laid-back atmosphere. It was so liberating to realize that it's okay to not have everything figured out, that it's okay to let go of things that aren't working for you anymore and choose a different path in life. I was expecting it to be a bit more wild, to be honest. It's as if something just landed from space right here. Good morning, everyone. We are back in Bali. We arrived 2 days ago from Nusa Penida, but this time we're staying in Uluwatu. We wanted to film, but it was raining quite heavily, and in fact, it's even raining now. But since we're only here for 3 days, we decided that today we have to risk it and try and film something. um, so we took the ferry from Nusa Penida to the port of Sanur, which took around 30 minutes. And then from there, we took a taxi to Uluwatu, and it took us about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours. The traffic was really bad. So yes, we've been here for the last 2 days, but I'll just show you the quick room tour we did when we arrived. So we've got a little sitting area here outside. Then we enter the room. It's not a big room, very simple. Large bed with 2 towels and a mosquito net, which is quite useful. Got a little sitting area over here where we've got our luggage, small table, a large mirror, and then on the other side got a little clothing rack for hanging clothes. And I believe the bathroom is outside this time. So we've got a little sink, the toilet, and the shower. So the shower is outdoor. And a little rack for drying our clothes, of course. So yes, pretty basic, but it has everything we need and it's clean. And plus we've got the air conditioner, which is really important. So that's good. And just here outside, we also have a shared kitchen, which is quite convenient. So it's outdoor, but it does help. There's a fridge, there's cooking facilities. So yeah, it's quite good. We also have the option to rent a scooter from our host, which we did for today. It cost us 70,000 rupees per day. And obviously we only took it for today, since it is our last day here. So we are staying for 3 nights and we paid around $13 per night. So again, quite affordable. It's in a good location, quite central in Uluwatu. Everything is easily accessible. There's cafes, restaurants in the area. So yeah, good value for money once again. Now you might be wondering, why are we in Uluwatu? This area is really well known for the beautiful beaches, the cliffside. You've got the famous Uluwatu temple here. But to be honest with you, for us, Bali was never a beach destination. We always chose to go to Ubud, to the north of Bali. To us, Bali was always about the spiritual side and the jungles and waterfalls. However, having said that, we do know that a lot of people do come to Bali specifically for the beaches and for surfing. And it's got some beautiful beaches, so we really wanted to experience that ourselves this time and see what we think, give you an opinion, see whether it is worth coming to Bali just for the beaches. So today we're going to do a tour of some of the beaches here in Uluwatu. Now, just before we go, I thought I would show you these fascinating old photographs that we found here in our Airbnb. So you can see they're very old, Um, they're most likely from the late 19th to the 20th century. And we don't know exactly who these people are, but we did ask our host, and he told us that this was the king of Bali. And you can see he's surrounded by women and children, some of which are shirtless. And that was actually pretty common in the pre-colonial and even the colonial era of Bali. Now, the second image was taken at the Elephant Cave. It's one of the oldest temples here in Bali, and you can see another group of women and children, and in the center, it is likely a colonial era visitor or maybe even some person of authority. So we don't know exactly who he is, but yes, I thought I would show you these photographs because they reflect an important part of Bali's history and the foreign influence that shaped the island, and we just found them fascinating. Now, as you can see, it's still very cloudy and it doesn't look like the rain is going to stop anytime soon, but we'll probably wait for another half hour and then just start exploring the way it is. Now, the first thing that we noticed is that Uluwatu has a much more laid-back vibe. It feels a lot more coastal, and the houses look quite different. So you no longer see those traditional Balinese style houses. You can see they look quite different, much lighter in color, and yeah, overall they give out a different vibe. And of course, there's a lot of foreigners, a lot of expatriates living in this area, which makes me wonder if these homes actually belong to them as opposed to the locals. But once again, we're not very lucky with the roads. Just like in Nusa Penida, there are a lot of potholes where we're staying. So let's hope it improves. So we started riding towards the beach, but the rain caught us and it's quite heavy. So we decided to just stop in front of a local supermarket and wait it out for a bit. Yeah.
We are not lucky today.
No, not lucky at all. And just to think that this is our last day, tomorrow we're leaving. Um, yeah, I don't know what you think.
Why are you not happy?
I don't think we'll see any beaches today. Just go home. And with a bit of luck, the rain has stopped and we have arrived at our first beach for the day called Melasti Beach. And the sun's out just in time. Now, the way here was quite impressive, I must say, quite scenic. You've got these towering limestone cliffs that have been sculpted to create a road, and it just creates these amazing views as you get here. The entrance fee was 15,000 rupees per person, plus 3,000 for a parking fee for a motorbike. Now, the first thing that I've noticed is that the beach is actually divided into three sections. So you've got some areas that have beach clubs on them where you can relax by the pool, you have dining options available, but you've also got the smaller sections. In fact, I believe this is the only one, if I'm not mistaken, which is a bit more secluded and wild. And of course, you've got these beautiful tall cliffs as a backdrop. Now, I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but there's a lot of helicopters flying in and out this area. So I'm not sure whether these are just some tours that you can do or whether they've got some other purpose. But yeah, this is the wild side, I would say. So you don't have any restaurants or cafes here. There's these beautiful cliffs. Now, the beach is named after the Melasti ceremony, a sacred Hindu ritual celebrated in Bali where locals offer prayers and purify their souls by carrying holy objects to the sea. So this beach does play an important role in the spiritual tradition of Bali. The waves are quite big here though, and I imagine the currents are also very strong. There was a sign at the entrance actually saying that you're not allowed to swim here. Yes, unfortunately, this beach is not suitable for swimming, but I can already tell that the color of the water is stunning when the sun's out. You can see it even when it's cloudy. It's a beautiful color. So it's definitely a beach more for admiring the scenery rather than swimming, that's for sure. And if you're into beach clubs, then you've also got that option. For me, however, the highlight are definitely these tall, beautiful cliffs covered in this lush greenery. They're absolutely beautiful. And we've come to a different section of the beach, and this area is much larger. I think it stretches over about 8 kilometers, so it's a lot more spread out. And once again, you've got these beautiful cliffs in the background. It's quite misty today, very cloudy. The sun was out for a few minutes, and then then all the clouds started coming in. So yes, weather-wise, we're not very lucky today. And once again, swimming is prohibited in this area, although I do see a lifeguard over here, so I think that's mainly for surfers. Definitely not a day you'd want to swim anyway. All right, so we're about to leave now, and what can I say? It's a beautiful beach. I was really blown away by the dramatic cliffs and the beautiful waves. So, yes, it's really nice. I have to admit, though, that this peaceful vibe was a bit interrupted by the constant noise of the helicopters flying overhead. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on. From what it looks like, there could be some training they're doing. So I'm not sure whether this is the case every day, but it got quite noisy here. So that kind of ruined it a little bit for me. But overall, the beach is really nice. It's worth coming for the views, I would say. Then we have arrived at our next beach, Suluban Beach. And by the looks of it, it's chock-a-block. Just look at all the scooters parked here. It's insane. So you have to go down these stairs to get to the beach. And I believe you even have to pass through a narrow cave. Not entirely sure. We'll see. And this is it. Wow, very pretty. Right, so the sun got out finally. At one point it started raining again and we thought this is it. We'll probably turn back, but looks like we're getting a little bit of luck. But just have a look at these beautiful rock formations. Unbelievable. And now that the sun is out, a lot more people are starting to come to this beach. It is one of the most popular beaches here in Bali. And you can see why. It's just spectacular with these beautiful rocks. Wow, just no words. You can see the surfers in the background. But look at the color of the water now, though. Amazing color. But of course, you can't swim here. It's only suitable for surfing. Wow, this cave really makes an impression. And the whole beach has this mysterious vibe to it. It's really impressive. So to get to the beach, you have to navigate through this narrow cave-like passage between the cliffs, and which makes accessing the beach feel like a mini adventure. as we come through to the left side, look at this beautiful beach. And once again, the sand is very soft. Big waves though, you can see why it's so popular among surfers. And there's so many of them. I don't know if you can see them all the way down there, but yeah, there's about 50 of them. So many. Beautiful beach though. Looks stunning, and these rocks are just incredible. Now it doesn't get as crowded as it does on the other side that I showed you before. And I think not many people actually realize they have to go through this passage to get to this place. So yes, it's definitely not crowded over here. So you can come and just relax and enjoy the view. It's beautiful. It definitely feels a lot more secluded here and quiet. Very peaceful atmosphere here. Now, Celeban Beach is known as one of Bali's surfing hotspots, especially for more advanced surfers who are looking for challenging reef breaks. The waves here are very powerful and fast, and this is what makes it a perfect spot for those wanting to push their limits. And of course, the cave entrance adds that element of mystery and is one of the most unique features of this beach. Now, it's important to mention that Bali is one of the surfing capitals of the world, and it's one of the top 10 surfing destinations. Its surf scene really took off in the 1970s when a few adventurous Australian surfers discovered the island's hidden gems, and particularly the legendary Uluwatu reef breaks. Before that, Bali was largely unknown to the surfing world, and in 1972, the iconic surf film Morning of the Earth showcased Bali's waves to the world, particularly Uluwatu. And this film not only introduced Bali as a prime surf destination, but also solidified its place in surfing history. It was about connecting with nature, embracing a spiritual journey, and finding peace through surfing. The movie featured early Australian surfers who first discovered Uluwatu. Before the film, Bali was essentially a hidden gem with no roads, no luxury resorts, and no surf industry. The film introduced Bali as a remote, pristine destination, far from the commercial surf hubs like Hawaii or California. The surfers in the film weren't just riding waves, they were living a countercultural lifestyle, essentially rejecting mainstream society in favor of a life of freedom and adventure. Morning of the Earth wasn't just a film about surfing, it was essentially a manifesto about living authentically and connected to nature, and it deeply resonated with the surfing community. So within years, Bali went from being virtually unknown to becoming one of the top destinations for surfing in the world. Bali's remote spots like Uluwatu, Padang Padang, and Canggu were initially only accessible by foot or narrow paths. This created a raw, adventurous atmosphere where surfers could experience waves far removed from typical tourist crowds. By the 1990s, Bali's surf scene had grown significantly, and more surfers, both professional and amateur, were flocking to the island. The construction of roads and surf resorts made it more accessible, turning Bali into a year-round surfing destination. And today it attracts surf tourists from all over the world, and world-class surf competitions like the World Surf League regularly take place on Bali's beaches. This beach is so beautiful, and just to think that if it wasn't for the courage of those surfers, maybe we would have never seen this beach, we would have never discovered it. Who knows? I mean, think about it. Back then, there was no GPS, um, there was no internet, no Instagram posts to inspire them. There was nothing. There were no roads even. It was all just pure instinct that led them to discovering this place. And I just find fascinating just how bold they were to just go out there into the unknown and explore. And yeah, when I think about how the world has changed today, so many of us no longer have the courage to even go on a holiday without that perfect planning and always having everything arranged to the last detail. And yeah, I think in today's world, we lack that courage to just go out into the unknown and explore, find something new. Now, no doubt this beach looks much, much better than when we came this morning. When it was cloudy, it just wasn't the same. But yeah, look at the beautiful watercolor now. Right, I think we'll move on to our next beach. What did you think of this one?
I like this one more
You
than
like?
the last beach.
Yes, you like this one more?
Yes.
I think I like this one more too, actually. Yeah,
Even the vibe, it's more fresh, more young.
because of the surfers. Yes, there's a lot of surfers here, so definitely adds to the vibe of the whole place. But yes, I agree. I think this beach is much nicer than Melasti Beach. I don't know, that one felt a bit too commercial with the beach clubs. Just
Commercial, yeah, it's more natural, this one.
yeah,
And
I think it represents us a lot
yes,
more than the other one. That's for sure.
there, if you like just to stay in the bar,
Yeah, by the pool.
stay in the pool.
Yeah.
You can stay here, even in the top. I've seen the drone. You have very
Yeah,
nice view.
there are restaurants and cafes around here as well, but I don't know. This one feels a lot more wild and secluded, and you do have the beautiful cliffs as well, just like in the other one. Still dramatic cliffs as a backdrop with beautiful greenery. So what can I say? Yeah, so far I do like this one more.
I can stay all day here.
You could stay all day.
I can stay all day.
Yeah, and of course you're not meant to swim here, but I can see some people are swimming, so yeah, I guess it's at your own risk. But it is indeed very beautiful to just come and relax here, no doubt. And back we go the way we came.
This is the entrance.
Yes, the entrance, and this is how they discovered this beach. Very adventurous here. Yes, most people are lining up there to take photos, but I like the other side a lot more. All right, so we're heading back to the parking lot.
Let's go
And
to the next beach.
yes, we're heading to the next beach now. Next on our list is Padang Padang Beach. Now, I forgot to mention when we came to this beach, but there was no entrance fee, only a parking fee like most of the other beaches. So it was 5,000 rupees per motorbike. All right, so we've arrived at Padang Padang Beach, one of the most iconic beaches here in Bali. And it was 15,000 rupees per person to enter and an additional 2,000 for parking. Now, to get to the beach, you just follow a narrow path. And my understanding is that there are monkeys around here, so we have to be careful with our belongings. So we just continue this narrow path along the stairs. Oh, and this is it. It's a nice view from up here, but there's so many people. I don't know if we'll be able to find a space. So far we haven't seen any monkeys, but that water looks so inviting. Oh, I wish I brought my bathing suit, but I just thought that most of these beaches are for surfing and not for swimming. But turns out this one is suitable for swimming. The water is very calm, no waves at all. But just loads and loads of people. So let's see if we can find a spot. Okay, so this is so funny. I just said that you can swim at this beach because there's so many people swimming here. And then the next thing, I see this flag saying swimming is prohibited. So I don't know what you think now. But I mean, the water looks nice and calm. So yeah, I don't know. It's a relatively small beach, as you can see, but it's got beautiful soft sand. So it's very comfortable to walk. The water's crystal clear. Must be an absolute pleasure to swim in here. Now, many of you may already know this, but this beach became incredibly famous after it was featured in the Eat, Pray, Love movie starring Julia Roberts back in 2010. And after that, it just became a must-visit beach destination for every traveler seeking the perfect Bali escape. So we found a little spot just here, right in front of these iconic rocks. And it's not so crowded over here. So I think we'll spend the next half an hour or so just relaxing and admiring this view before heading to our next beach. Now I just saw Mihai heading up these hidden stairs that I didn't initially see. So there must be a viewpoint or something. Did you find something interesting here?
Find the best spot for me. Nice and quiet.
Nice and quiet, but the best spot to launch the drone. Oh, yeah, there's not much here, just a few rocks and a nice view of the sea. Yeah, I can definitely see the appeal of this beach. I mean, leaving Eat, Pray, Love aside, it's got these beautiful rock formations, crystal clear water, and beautiful sand. And it has this charming laid back atmosphere as well. Now, this beach is also quite popular for intermediate surfers. So you do get much smaller waves here compared to Suluban Beach. So yes, creating the ideal conditions for those less experienced. And I don't know about you, but I'm just fascinated by these trees growing on top of these rocks. How do they even grow like this? Wow. Now, I first read the book Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert, probably back in 2009, I believe. So that was before the movie came out. I was still in high school at the time, probably year 9 or 10. And of course, being so young at the time, I couldn't really appreciate the message behind this story. But somehow it still stuck with me. And years later, um, after rereading it and watching the movie and having been through life a little bit, it just became like a wake up call for me. And it was so liberating to realize that it's okay to not have everything figured out, that it's okay to let go of things that aren't working for you anymore and choose a different path in life. And especially now, in this point in our lives where we started this journey, I think, yeah, this is when I can relate to that story more than ever, probably, because yeah, it's not always easy to just let go of everything and choose a path that's not necessarily approved by society or is necessarily standard. So, yeah, I thought I would just share this story. And now that I'm here at Padang Padang Beach, it just reminded me of these feelings I've had for years and um, just how much I loved that story and that book. It's really been so transformational for me. And it really inspired me that no matter what happens in life, there's always another way and another path to take forward. All right, so we're about to leave Padang Padang Beach. We really enjoyed it here. I mean, it was crowded, but it had a lovely atmosphere, so
So nice here.
nice vibe, right?
Very nice vibe.
Yeah.
And beautiful beach.
Beautiful beach. Yeah, definitely worth coming. Our last beach for today, and once again, full of people and umbrellas this time. I was expecting it to be a bit more wild, to be honest, when I was looking through the photos. So this is somewhat surprising. But Mihai's just gone up this little path. So let's see if we can get a better view.
Small, yeah?
Yes, much smaller than I expected, to be honest, and much more commercial. I thought this was going to be one of those wild beaches.
Maybe you need to go on another side.
Oh, okay. Should we go to the other side then? But as you can probably see, this beach has huge waves. So,
Good for surf.
yes, once again, it's perfect for surfing. Wow. Not so good for swimming though. But people are still swimming anyway. Massive waves. There's lots of surfers here. Probably not as many as at Suluban Beach, but you can still see quite a few here. Now Mihai was showing me some drone shots, and it turns out there's another section just over there. So we'll head towards that way. Now there was no entrance fee or parking fee this time, but if you come here, you might have to pay for an umbrella, of course, so and a sunbed. Now I believe if I go up these stairs, I should get to the other side and see the other section of the beach. Yep, so we've got more stairs just on the other side. And here it is. Now this is what I was looking for. Much less commercial over here. Yes, this looks way more like what I've seen in the photos. A lot more wild. You still got some sunbeds, but yeah, definitely not as crowded as on the other side. Wow, and I think you can appreciate just how vast and expensive this beach is. It's huge. Much more open and spread out than all of the other ones we've been to today. And once again, it has this dramatic image with towering cliffs framing it. So, and we've got the soft golden sand, very, very soft and pleasant. But yes, I don't know if I would dare to go swimming here. People are swimming, but yeah, the waves are huge. They're absolutely massive. So, yeah, I don't know if I would risk it. It can be a bit dangerous. If you want to come for swimming, then I would definitely go to Padang Beach. That one was way more suitable. The water was so calm over there. But yeah, over here, I don't know, a bit risky. And once again, we see these beautiful rock formations, just out of this world. Just look at their texture. Absolutely incredible. I keep saying these textures remind me of an asteroid. It's as if something just landed from space right here. This is definitely my kind of beach. Beautiful scenery, calm, peaceful atmosphere, wild nature. Oh, it's just perfect. And you can see in some areas the sand is actually black. Um, Only just a few places. And that's of course due to the island's volcanic origin.
It's nice here.
Yes, it's
So
very
quiet.
wild.
Very quiet.
Much quieter than the other ones we've been to.
It's a little bit dangerous for swimming.
Yes, it is dangerous, but people are still swimming. No one's afraid. We're the only ones that are too afraid to go in.
I like to come back, stay all day here.
Yeah, I would too. I think I'll come back. Yeah, we initially thought that first section was small. We thought that was the beach itself, but
No, it's three.
yes, there's three sections,
Three
and
sections, yeah.
As you can see, this beach is absolutely huge. So yeah, there's definitely space for everyone to enjoy. All right, so it's getting late in the afternoon, and I think we'll go and have some dinner now. We are exhausted and we are absolutely starving.
And I'm so hungry.
Yes, so, but I just thought we'd talk a little bit about our impressions and what we thought about these four beaches. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see them all. There's many beautiful others here in Bali, but yeah, there's only so many you can see in a day. Um, but yes, it's a hard pick. But for me personally, I think the second beach we visited, Suluban Beach, I think that was my personal favorite. What about you, Mihai?
I think the same, and this one, the last one.
And this one, Dreamland Beach?
Yes.
Yes, I think this is a close second for me as well.
Yeah, it's more good to stay all day with
To
the family.
relax, yeah.
To relax. It's quiet.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't dare to swim here. That's the only issue for me. I like to swim, and yeah, these waves are way too big for me. But yeah, it's nice if you just come for the scenery, just to relax on the beach. There's obviously cafes and restaurants here to have something to eat. But yes, I'll go with Suluban Beach, the surfers hotspot. And yeah, I think Bali can be a beach destination. To answer our initial question, it definitely has some beautiful beaches. They're very scenic, very dramatic. Probably not as nice, not as beautiful as the ones that we've seen on Nusa Penida. So I'll tell you that the ones on Nusa Penida are even more breathtaking than these ones. But you know, I am being subjective. It's just personal preference. Woo! Oh, we just had a wave come through. Yeah, so you know, beauty is subjective, and yeah, that's just my personal opinion. I would prefer the beaches of Nusa Penida over these ones, but again, for me, for us personally, Bali still remains one of those spiritual destinations. And when we come here, um, we tend to prefer to experience more of that cultural side, and of course, the jungles and the waterfalls. But yeah, I think we would come back definitely. I'd love to see some of the other beaches as well. Definitely worth coming. All right, guys, so we've come to a restaurant to have dinner. It's actually quite close to our accommodation. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go and see the Uluwatu temple. We were planning on going at sunset, but it just got too late, and plus it started raining. So, yeah, a bit disappointing, but what can you do? You just can't do it all. So, yeah, hopefully next time we come to Uluwatu, we'll go and see it. All right, so my dish has arrived. I went for cashew chicken with vegetables and rice. So looks good. Let's give it a taste. Really nice. Yeah, beautiful flavor. The chicken's very juicy and tender. The veggies are nice and crisp. It's all laid out on a beautiful bed of rice. Huge portion too, I must say. I don't know how I'm gonna eat all this, but I am quite hungry from today, so I guess it's a good thing. But yes, absolutely delicious. Really good. And Mihai went for chicken steak with potatoes and steamed vegetables. And I think you ordered with mushroom sauce?
Yeah.
Yes, mushroom sauce. And we also got 2 fresh coconuts. Is it good?
Very soft.
Good?
You like it. Very, very juicy.
Juicy, yeah? Yeah, looks good. Alright, so 2 main meals and 2 fresh coconuts ended up costing us 168,000 rupees. And yes, our time in Bali has now officially come to an end. We had such a magical time, and I know we're gonna miss it so much, as always. And yeah, Uluwatu was also great. The beaches were really nice. So yeah, I love the vibe here. It was really, it was such a different atmosphere compared to Ubud. So yes, I can definitely say that it is worth coming to Bali for the beaches as well, and especially if you're into surfing. Yes, this area is wonderful. But yes, tomorrow morning we have an early flight to a new country, and yeah, we're gonna have to get up really early once again. But I think I'll end this vlog right here. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.